Hello, this is Wes Bridle, and this is another Kingdom Calling economic update. All of our economic updates are to give you up-to-the-date information on that have happened since the Coming Storm video was shot in November. A link to watch that video for free is right near this video, and if you have not seen it, I highly recommend it because that gives you the big picture of what's about to happen in our economy, which is going to be devastating change for most, and there is still time to prepare yourself. In this video, we're going to talk about things that the government has been doing, and we're going to shoot a series, as I'm sitting here, 3 or 4 videos of the stuff that's happened over the last couple of weeks. I apologize, it's been a while since I've done it. We've had a lot of really exciting things going on here, and I haven't had time to do this. But let's jump into it. This is going to be on just government intervention. This first one isn't necessarily government, but I found it very disturbing. A couple weeks ago, we had the flash crash, the crazy Thursday, where the market just exploded downward in a matter of minutes and then popped back up. That was about a week and a half ago. And the NASDAQ came out and said that they were going to cancel out orders that was made during that time. That is very disturbing. If you made an order, you should keep your order. I just found that incredibly disturbing, and I don't know that most people really understand the ramifications of them just deciding that certain orders weren't good. If you'd placed a low buy order and that you'd been wanting to get in and they just canceled it, that is not right for them to come in and do that. And so it's a scary thing of them just intervening in a way that they shouldn't be intervening. It struck me as governmental, and so I put that in there. The mortgage market, I don't know if you've seen this, but 97% of mortgages that are written in this country today are government backed. So the different governmental agencies are basically writing or guaranteeing 97% of the mortgages out there. That's a scary figure, that our real estate industry is basically crushed if not for the government coming in and writing mortgages that maybe obviously shouldn't be writing, or if they should be written, banks would be stepping in and doing this themselves. So it's a scary thing to notice. The Senate seems good, but it's really not so good. They voted to allow some auditing of the Federal Reserve, but they didn't push through the. Now this is in the financial package, so it hasn't finished yet. But they didn't allow the auditing, the full audit of the Fed that so many of us would like. They allowed kind of a fake partial auditing. And so you kind of look at that and think, well, this isn't truly going to be an audit of the Fed, and maybe they're just appeasing us by allowing this to happen. It's doubtful anything will come from that, but it's interesting to note nonetheless. President Obama's administration is looking to remove nickel and zinc from our coins. So we long ago got rid of silver, and now we're trying to get rid of nickel and zinc because our currency is debased so much that they're spending twice as much on the coins themselves as they're worth. An interesting thing, the government is talking about stepping in and killing banks doing deals with their clients and betting on the opposite side. So you know about Goldman Sachs doing this mortgage deal. What they were basically doing was a very high-level bet, and both of the sides of the parties knew what was happening. They knew that they were one or the other would profit based on the direction that this went. It would be like if you went to your buddy and made a bet on something, you know one is going to win and one is going to lose. That was well understood in that Goldman Sachs deal, but now they're upset because so much money was made and lost in that situation. They're upset with the banks, and so the government is talking about intervening and disallowing that sort of thing to happen. What that would do is basically kill the entire derivatives market, because there's always a winner and a loser on both sides of such a thing. If they did that, that would kill the profits of the banks. So you've seen the banks have been making unbelievable profits. There's a couple reasons for that. One is they're just allowed to borrow money at unbelievably low rates and put that money to work, and so why wouldn't you be able to make a profit when you can basically get free money? But the other thing is they're doing a lot of things with derivatives, and they're very good at it and making money at that. If that is killed, and I have mixed feelings on this issue big time, but if it is killed, it will kill the profits of the bank, which would really hurt the economy. It's a weird thing is you start to really look into what's going on in our economy. You start to realize anything that might seem good, a lot of times it comes around and has really negative consequences for our economy. because we've gotten so wrapped up in the road that we've gone down. And let's see, Europe, when Europe was saved, I might have commented on this in my Europe video, but they created special purpose entities in order to buy all this terrible bonds from Greece, Portugal, places like that, that no one else wanted. And so they had strict rules in order to keep their finances a lot purer than ours, and they just quickly broke them. And this is how they did it. They said, well, we're not doing it. These entities that we've created are doing it in order to break the rules. So it's a scary road. They're walking right down this road with us now at this point. U.S. had the largest April deficit on record this past April, and it was also the first back-to-back Aprils that the country has lost money, had a deficit position for the month since 1963-64. April is typically a month when a lot of people pay their taxes, so that's sort of the best month on the books for the government, and we had a record deficit 2 years in a row for the first time since 63-64. Our revenues fell 8% and our spending jumped 14%. So you can see it's pretty ugly numbers, pretty ugly situation that's happening. In the next videos, we're going to talk about situations that are making it look like a market crash, and actually, since some of these numbers have accumulated, the market has been going down. And we're also going to talk about issues of hyperinflation, issues with gold that have come up, and just give you the full picture on what's going on. Again, if you haven't seen the Coming Storm video, I highly recommend you go and watch that for free. Also, this package that we've been working so diligently on here in our office, we're going to put an amazing offer out for that. It's probably, the editing and stuff's probably going to take a few weeks, but if you're on that list, you'll get that offer, and so I'd recommend you check that out. Thanks, and God bless you.